Hey, I have a story I want to share with you, and I want to see how much you can connect with this story. This story comes from the book of John, chapter 9, verse 1 to 7. It says, as he went along, he saw a man. He is Jesus. He saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Neither this man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus. But this happened so that the works of God may be displayed in him. As long as it is day, we must do the work of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. After saying this, he spit on the ground, made some mud with saliva, and put it on the man's eyes. Go, he told him, wash in the pool of Siloam. This word means sent. So the man went ahead, washed, and came home seeing. But the part I want to highlight about this story that I wonder if you may connect with it. The story says that Jesus was walking along. He was passing by and he noticed this blind man. He saw him. In other words, the blind man didn't see him. He saw him, which also let us know that no matter what we are or where we are, that he is able to see us even when we don't see him. But that's not the part I want to focus on in the next few minutes with you. The part I wonder if you may relate with, it is the disciples. The disciples' question is filled with judgment. Is filled with assumption. They are assuming why this man is blind. Jesus is responding to this blind man with compassion. However, the disciples are responding with assumptions. They are assuming why he's a sinner. And I'm sure that some of you have had people in your life make assumptions, not only in your life, but even family. They make assumption why you are the way you are. They don't come and ask you. They don't talk to you. They don't approach you with empathy and compassion. No, they approach you with assumption and judgment. And this is a great example that shows us that they were walking with Jesus, but they were not representing the heart of Jesus. How many of us have experienced family members, friends, or even people that we have met that use the name of God, they use the name of Jesus, that say and declare that they are Jesus. But when they approach people and they approach life, they don't approach from a place of compassion and empathy. Jesus approaches this man with empathy and compassion. But the disciples approach him with assumptions, with stereotypes. They probably met people that had disabilities or ability limitation due to families, or maybe that's what they were taught, but they didn't approach him with compassion. And I know that some of you or some of us, we have lived in places where we have been hurt by people that have used the name of God in the wrong way. They have used the name of God to judge, to condemn, to look down upon. They were literally looking down on this man, and they say, who sinned, him or his parents? And Jesus says, neither. And he still goes on to heal him and to give him sight. And I want to speak to those who have met people, or particularly family members that have used the idea that they have known Jesus or walked to Jesus or been in the church in a way that they have approached you with stereotype, like this blind man have experienced. But I want you to hear through this story that Jesus' heart does not reflect the heart of the disciples. That Jesus' words do not reflect what these disciples say. That he does not approach this man with judgment, with stereotypes, or with assumption. He approached this man with empathy and compassion. So I don't know who you are or where you are, but I want you to know that Jesus is approaching you from a place of compassion and empathy. In whatever area of your life that you may be blind in, you may not see him, but he sees you. You may not feel him, but he sees you. You may not even hear him, but it does not change the fact that he sees you. But above all, I also want you to not resent the disciples, because the disciples, they were being honest. And the reason why they ask that question is not because they really want to be judgmental, but I wonder if that's all they knew. And Jesus is trying to teach them the right way. And maybe we should not stop connecting with Jesus because of the disciples, because most of the time they do not reflect the heart of Jesus.